Hi everyone, welcome to my wrap-up of my ParkJet wrap-up for 2019, as well as a little bit of a look forward into 2020. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a great Christmas. I know that I certainly was spoiled rotten more than I deserved, but anyway, it was a great Christmas, especially first Christmas with my little granddaughter, so that was lots of fun. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much in detail. Just kind of hit the highlights on the sort of the big things that I did in 2019. Towards the start of the year, I finished up helping Ground Control RC with his F-22 Mini version 3. I'll have links to video there. I'll also have links to all of Ground Control RC's YouTube channel, Facebook, and Patreon site. I encourage you to go check it out. He has tons of great tips, tutorials. You know, he's in the process of designing another ParkJet now. So anyway, I'll have links to that. So that was a lot of fun. We got that wrapped up, and I think the F-22 Mini version 3 from Ground Control RC is a great, fun little ParkJet. I finished up, after that, I finished up my evaluation of the FRC Foamy's FA-18 Hornet, which was the first tail mount ParkJet I ever built. So I'll have a link to my, I'll have some links about that down below, a link to the playlist anyways. You can watch all the flying videos as well as some table talk videos I did on that. It was a good experiment. I really enjoyed it. I put well over 200 flights on it, you know, just to get a full evaluation. I think I still, at this point now, as I evaluate further, I still prefer prop and slot ParkJets. I think mostly just for their simplicity and for the ability to be able to modify them, fine-tune them a little bit more. But anyway, that's nothing against the FRC Foamy's F-18. It was a great ParkJet. I built a modified RC Powers F-35 version 5, which you've seen on this channel. I learned a lot there from what went wrong with some of my planned modifications that I thought would work out. They didn't work out all that well. So that was actually a very good project, though, because I learned a lot from that. And so I ended up, you know, I wanted to fly it with a 6-inch prop, and I ended up going down to 5-inch 3-blade prop, and I've just been having a blast flying it since then. Then I built a modified RC Powers F-18 version 3, specifically for a 5-inch prop, based on the lessons that I learned with the F-35, and I've just been having a heck of a good time with that. It really motors, especially on 4S, so I've had a lot of fun with that. I discovered over this year, I sort of discovered what are now my favorite 6-inch and 5-inch props. My favorite 6-inch prop, you know, that I can run just about on any motor I have on 3S is the GemFan Flash 6042x2. Really good prop. Probably the best 6-inch prop that I've ever used on a ParkJet setup. And then my favorite 5-inch 3-blade is the GemFan Hurricane 51-499. I just really love this prop, and I'm actually leaning more towards running 5-inch 3-blade prop systems, because with the motor that I like to run the most, the GEP RC 2306-2750, I can just leave that 5-inch 3-blade prop on there. And you know, if I want to drop a 4S battery in there, I don't have to worry about changing props. It can still handle the amp draw. So I did quite a bit of battery evaluation, and probably this past year I did more 4S flying than I've ever done before. So I've really caught the bug for that. The flights don't last very long, but boy, they really get the old adrenaline up, and it's you know, a lot of fun. Pretty exciting. So I'll be continuing doing more 4S flying coming up in the future. I shot 135 YouTube videos, I counted, which is that's by far the most YouTube videos I've ever shot in a year, you know, both between flying and table talk videos. So that was quite a bit of work there. I didn't do as much flying this year as I have in previous years. I'm probably around 250 to 300 flights less than what I normally fly in a year. I don't want to sound like I'm whining or complaining or sounding selfish here, but I just found the last several months of this past year that I had just kind of hit a point of burnout when it came to building and flying park jets. I've mentioned in other videos, obviously I also got busy with my lovely little granddaughter and and other family things, so that was a lot of fun and well worth it. But looking and evaluating sort of why I got to that point where I just didn't feel like building anything or flying for weeks on end, I've come up with some ideas on how I'm going to move forward. Okay, so that sort of segues us right into where we need to be. So that was sort of 2019, I guess, in a very broad brush nutshell. Moving forward, I'm going to be streamlining the amount of projects, builds, evaluations, that sort of thing. I think that I have found my best power setup, size of park jets that I like to build, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to be, unless I absolutely see a review on some motor or speed controller that I just have to check out to squeeze out a bit more speed. I think I've hit the point where I don't really have the time or the money to do a lot of those in-depth evaluations of props and motors and things like that. So I'm going to be cutting back on that considerably. However, I'm also going to be I just can't really get motivated. I mean, here's all the parts and everything. I just can't really get motivated on this intermediate park jet build series that I sort of started. So if you've been waiting around for that to continue, my sincere apologies. I just can't get motivated to get going with it because it's probably not a plane. It's going to be a one-use plane for that project, and it just is not sort of challenging me the way some of the other builds that I'm going to talk about will. So it's really I just can't find the motivation to press on with it. So I may eventually, obviously I've got everything all cut out. It's just a matter of building it, and I may eventually do that. But I've decided to actually sort of jump, and I'm going to continue. I am going to do a build. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a video series, or maybe I'll do a blog, blog series on it. I'm not sure, but I'm going to build a MiG-35, NAMC MiG-35B. However, it's going to be highly modified, downsized to a 25.5-inch wingspan, which for me seems to be the real sweet spot for the power setup that I like, and how I like my planes to fly, and still be able to have fairly good wind penetration and stability. So I've got those parts, or the plans already all cut out and marked. So I'll share with you, as I get that series started, what I plan on doing. Right now, probably the number one questions that I get asked about building have to do with Dollar Tree foam or Adams Ready board, since for those of us in North America, Depron is not available, and maybe people don't want to buy big boxes of model plane foam because it's a lot of foam and it's expensive, and shipping is expensive. So anyway, I'm going to be building that MiG-35 primarily out of Dollar Tree foam. I will be using some Depron for me, but I will cut the parts out of that I will be using on my plane made out of Depron. I will cut them out of Dollar Tree foam as well, and I will demonstrate how I would take care of those parts or finish those parts to build a plane if we're going to build it entirely out of Dollar Tree foam, because I have built a MiG-35B entirely out of Dollar Tree foam, I guess 2-3 years ago now. But anyway, so that's that's going to be kind of the next build project that, like I said, will show up either on this channel or as a blog series to try and help people see the process, and help you with some tips on how I've built really good high performance but also durable park jets out of Dollar Tree foam. The other airplane I want to build, again, I've talked about this in a couple of other videos. I think I've determined that for a 5-inch prop setup, I should be able to build an RC Powers F-22 version 5, and let me see what, I think I calculated what percentage. It'll be at 90% of stock, so again it'll have a 25.5-inch wingspan, and a 5-inch prop should fit in there okay with the newer size. This is my second favorite RC Powers plane of all time, so after gonking that one up pretty severely, I definitely miss having one in my hangar, because it's just, pardon me, looks really, really cool in the air, and it's a heck of a lot of fun to fly. Excuse me. And then the third project that I want to build is the modified RC Powers SU-30 version 4. It'll be identical to the red, white, and blue one that I currently fly, which is kind of my beater plane. It has over 500 flights on it. It will be built again primarily from Dollar Tree foam with some Depron, but this time I will do a proper paint job and everything else on it. I won't just do magic marker like I did on that red, white, and blue one. And that will probably, I'll be interested to see actually. I would assume that that's going to be the Speed Demon in my hangar. I can't really do 4S comparison between my F-18 V3 and the SU-30 V4 I have right now, because I've been kind of too lazy to fix the elevon flutter problem I've had in my SU-30, so I can't, I haven't been flying it at all on 4S because it causes the elevon to flutter quite a bit, and I've been concerned that it's either going to rip off or cause the airplane to crash. So until such time as I have a new one in my hangar, we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, folks. And like I said, I don't I don't mean to sound like I'm lazy or whining or complaining about but I did, when I look back, it's my own fault. I just took on far too much for reasons that weren't really kind of my own, if that makes sense. So this time, because I have many other things that are very, very important to me that are taking up more of my time, I want to streamline things down so that I'm just working on projects that I really want to work on, but I also still want to share how those, what my thoughts are going into them, how the project worked out, that sort of thing, so that you can perhaps learn from them if you also want to take on similar projects as well. So there we go. I'll go through this list here, and I'll try and have as many of the links below as I can find. If you want more information about a lot of this, a lot of these things that I've rambled on about. I appreciate, as always, your patience with me. I know I've been kind of persona non grata here for several weeks, but I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your kind support as always to my channel. Blue skies, calm winds to everyone. Park jet noise, the other sound of freedom, baby. Take care. Oh, and I should say this will be my last video of 2020, so I wish you and yours, wherever you are, a very safe, happy, and prosperous 2020. All the best. Cheers.